Hello, audio people. Andrew here behind the fader today. So I want to share my experience about the way how I approach mixing audio in our days. You know, for decades I was using this kind of mixers. So I was using the analog mixing boards or consoles. Then we switched to this kind of digital boards. And this is this board that has these physical faders. But the more we moving forward, the more I see myself using just an iPad with the mixing station on it. And the way why it's so popular and why it's so in demand to use just an iPad or a tablet, I prefer an iPad because the screen is really responsive. So the reason why I really prefer to use an iPad is because it's really mobile. So I don't have to have even the mixing board, and I can walk with an iPad to any spot of the venue and mix from any spot. And also I can take it onto the stage and troubleshoot something from the stage. So let's say I'm just one person who is mixing the sound for front of house and for monitor mixes. I can really quick go to the stage or to the side of the stage, adjust the monitor mix, and then go back to the front of house. Or I can prepare the stage mix during the rehearsal and then mix front of house from the venue itself. So yeah, so using an iPad with the mixing station is the modern way how to mix the sound. Also, mixing station is customizable, so I can have any kind of layout of faders or any kind of controllers, which is not doable on this kind of board. Again, some boards can allow you to customize these faders, but not all of them. Now, I decided that having this mobility is really beneficial, and having this customization is really beneficial. So I'm not tied with these wires at all. So everything is wireless. And I decided I just need more real estate. And that's why I came up with this kind of solution. So this is just a case. It's kind of big, but it's protecting the gadget, and the gadget itself is very, very simple. And the idea behind this gadget is extremely simple. It's just a case that can combine two iPads, and that's it. I mean, this is the gadget. Now there is some interesting not innovation, but just idea. So you can see I can turn it around and just shake it and iPad stay in place. That's because I have magnets right here on the back. Also, there is the L-shaped adapter, like a charger adapter right here. So I can charge these iPads from the back, from these holes. So these two holes, this is a push hole to remove the iPad. So let me show you from the back how it looks like from the back. Okay, so this is the push hole, just to push iPad out. These two holes are for ventilation. So eventually I want to set up two coolers here to cool down the iPads, because let's say I have outside venue and it's during the summer, it could be easily be higher than 100 degrees, and I definitely will need these coolers here. Now this is the interesting thing. This is the magnet, and what this magnet allows me to do, and there are two specific cuts here, I actually can set it up to the stand like that. So this is a metal part, and I can just align these holes and snap it. And now this is my front of house mixer, which is super cool. I don't need anything else except of just this device. Now there is a safety screw on the back. If I will screw it in, it will become like a monolith solid structure. Now there are multiple use cases that I see for this gadget. For example, this could be just an additional device for existing console in a house, you know, because I can have, let's say, the effects rack here and the channel rack right here, and with all my compression and equalization and sense. And I recently used this kind of setup along with the Midas M32. So it was really convenient. So Midas doesn't have the touch screen. So I was able to use these two iPads to have the huge touch screen to control my Midas. And I used all these faders from the Midas console. Now, another use case could be, let's say, I can have the front of house mix on the right side and another layout similar to this one with faders for any other mix. It could be stream mix, or it could be the monitor mix, or it could be any other mix. So basically there are two mixes here, right? So another use case could be so let's say there is some kind of really small project, really small venue, and there is just limited amount of people who are running the show. So I can have the mixing station on one side and DMX lighting control software on another side, or I can have wireless frequency coordination software on another side, or I can have the streaming software on another side. There are so many use cases that I can think about here. Now, it could be not related to the audio industry at all. For example, I recently recorded the video using my iPhone, and I had a teleprompt on this side, and I had remote control for my iPhone on that side. So I can see many different use cases for that. Now, another benefit is mobility. So again, one device can always stay in front of house when another device can be taken away and somebody can go to the stage and mix the monitor mix or troubleshoot something. So this mobility is amazing. Now, I want to walk you through these setups that I have right here really quick. So we already discussed this super innovative gadget. But here we have the Behringer X32 compact version, and this is the 40HK device, of course. I usually use this kind of devices only as a control surface, and I prefer different stage boxes. I don't really like preamps that these kind of units have. So let's consider this one as just a controller. And here we have Midas M32, which is just the brain unit of this board. We have this switcher, which is Brocade ICX 6450, and this is the server grade switch and wireless access points. These two are Rocus 510R, which are also extremely reliable units. And so this board is connected to the router, and iPads connected to these access points wirelessly. And again, everything connected to the router. Now I want to demonstrate you how all this setup actually works and how everything's synced. So you can see that this very first channel is selected, and if I will move fader for this channel on any of devices, you can see that they are all synced, which is beautiful. I mean, that is super cool. Now, this is 48 kilohertz setup. It's not these fancy pro versions. I know that Midas has 96 HD 96K unit, kind of. I think it's Air series, and the concept behind this Air series is exactly the same. They have two touchscreen devices, and in addition to that, they have like 3 faders maybe. But the main idea that it's 96K and they have these 2 touchscreens. And you know how much it costs? $25,000. So this device costs like $700. So I can buy an iPad used one for $300. This is J3, generation 3. And I can cut this one for $100. Now I own my own CNC machine, and that's why I was able to design all of that and cut it by myself. Now this is a scalable solution. I mean, I can do this for 4 iPads, and I will have even more real estate. Can you imagine how powerful that will be? You can say it's not 96K. Yes, it is not 96K. Now, what is the reason to have 96K? The reason is to have really low latency. And that's it. You will not hear any difference between 96 and 48 except of latency. And you can use these more than 96K consoles to mix 2 mixes at the same time, one for front of house, another for IEM monitoring. This is the critical mixes in terms of latency. And I can achieve it without 96K. I can use 2 units like this, 2 M32C, and each of them will have 0.7 milliseconds latency, which is better than 96K can provide. You know, I will use one for front of house and another for personal monitoring mix, and I will have 0.7 milliseconds latency. Now, I can use really nice preamps with this unit. I can use DL153 stage boxes, which have the best preamps that Midas ever invented, and they are not super expensive, you know. So I can achieve really high level mixing unit even without having the mixing board. I can get rid of the mixing board itself and just have a couple of these maybe, or even just one of these, and 2 M32 course units and a couple of really good stage boxes. And that's how I can achieve like really professional, top level grade sound here. Now you can say, yeah, but what about redundancy and stability? And what about all these redundant features that modern consoles have? First of all, they don't. So let's say you have one huge expensive console, and let's say during the show, let's say your console will be shut down. What are you going to do? Do you have another console? Do you have like another $25,000 console with you? I don't think so. But this is a redundant setup, and I will show you how it works in a minute. But before of that, I want to talk a little bit why redundancy is so important for production, audio-video production industry. So I was managing a band for 5 years, I believe. And the performance is the execution moment of hours, weeks, months, and years of rehearsal of really hard job of multiple people. So this time when the band performs on a stage is a kind of really important moment, and the cost of that is huge. Because again, as I said before, multiple people spent multiple hours to practice and to prepare the show. Now, if during the show something will go wrong, it's bad for everybody. It's just wasting a ton of time. And as you know, time is money, and it's not acceptable at all. So that's why redundancy and stability is so important for production companies, And I want to demonstrate to you how redundancy is achieved in this kind of setup. So right now I can, again, everything is synced right now. And I want to show you that these two iPads currently on the two different networks. So you can see that this iPad is on network 10 and that iPad is on network 20. And basically the way how all of this set up is the left iPad connected to the left access point and the right iPad connected to the right access point. And these access points, they are using two different bands. So first of all, they are on 5G. They have unique antenna design patent that can cover like a huge area. And the one access point is working on the lower side of the 5G band, and another access point is working on the top side of the 5G band. So they are not really confusing each other at all. Now, let's imagine that something critical happened during the show. I don't know, somebody cut this cable or one of these units for some reason got shut down. I want to demonstrate it to you right now. So I will switch back to the mixing station on both iPads. Again, everything is synced right now. And I will just remove the cable from one of these access points. And what we want to expect that one of the iPads will be disconnected, not two of them, because they are on independent networks right now, right? But even more, in seconds, the iPad that I will disconnect, this one, will pick up the network, this redundant network, and it will be able to operate again. So let's see how it works. I'm disconnecting the cable from here. It's off, so we lose the control. This one still controls the board. And look what will happen right here. It was able to pick up this another network, and now everything is connected. Now this is a redundancy, right? So this is a real redundancy. Now I have time to troubleshoot this device, or maybe if I have spare one, I can just set up another one and continue to use two different networks. In addition to that, I have two different iPads, and if one of them will be broken, another one will be working anyway. Now, as I mentioned before, I can use multiple of these units, and they are cheap and they are small. It's not the same as this huge board. So in a real life situation, with HD series of Midas, I will have the huge board and maybe two for redundancy, which is crazy. No, I don't want to do that. I want to have this really portable, mobile, redundant setup. Now, you can say, yeah, that's all good, but what if this super reliable Brocade switcher got broken? I mean, chances that will happen, they are miserable, honestly. Because again, this is the unit that data centers uses. It's super reliable. It's like a tank. The fidelity is huge for this unit. But let's say, yes, something happened. Well, I always can just have something like that, like really small, portable router, or this is the like really cheap one, but I can have something a little bit better. And again, it will take like a minute to connect it to this M32C and have my network set up again, and then I have time to troubleshoot if I need it. So Yeah, for me, it's a perfect solution. I can use redundant devices. I can achieve super reliable setup with this. I even don't have to have these boards, and this is a compact. What do you think? If you have any ideas how to use it in the different domains, or maybe even in the audio video domain, please leave a comment below. I will be glad to hear from you. How do you think it can be useful? If you think that there are any kind of downsides of using that, please leave a comment below as well. I mean, I'm open to discussion. Maybe I'm missing something here. Maybe it's not so great as I'm thinking about. But for me, it's a game changer. I mean, it's not so expensive. It is redundant. It is pretty stable. It is a compact. It is a mobile. It has tons of different use cases, and I think it's kind of future of mixing anyway. So I believe people will just start to switch to this kind of solutions sooner than later, and these mixing boards will be just outdated. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe to the channel. I actually have more ideas similar to these that I want to implement for my production business. I definitely will publish more ideas for audio video production companies and for small rental business, So stay tuned, and I see you behind the fader next time. Bye.